All right. So um, you've sent for some really interesting excerpts from Empower All Your Business Areas with Hybrid Generative AI.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like you're really trying to modernize your company's operations
Yeah,
to stay competitive
absolutely.
in this digital world that we're in.
It's essential these days.
Yeah.
You really have to embrace these digital transformations, especially when we're talking about the core of a business,
Mm.
production and services. It's not just about having technology, it's about using it as this secret weapon.
I love that
Yeah.
secret weapon analogy.
Wow.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, this source material, it keeps mentioning core strengths
Right.
and how they connect to digital transformation.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I'm a little bit lost on that.
Okay.
Like, I get it at the gym, but in the boardroom, I don't really see the connection.
Okay. Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
When we talk about core strength and fitness,
Mm-hmm.
a strong core is the basis for any physical activity.
It gives you that good foundation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It helps your balance, and ultimately, it makes everything better.
Right?
So think about your business.
Okay.
What are the most important skills, processes, resources?
The things that give you that competitive edge.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Those are your business's core muscles.
Okay.
And just like at the gym, if you ignore your core, you get hurt.
Yeah.
If you don't invest in your business's core strengths, you're going to be in trouble,
Yeah. That makes sense.
especially in today's market.
So that's where this digital transformation comes in.
Yeah,
It's about using technology to make those core strengths stronger.
exactly. To make sure your business is not just surviving, but thriving.
And this is where I imagine those legacy systems get in the way.
Oh, absolutely.
This source kind of hints that they can really hold companies back.
Oh, for sure.
Because this source seems to think that digital twins are the answer.
Okay.
Is that just a buzzword?
It's more than just hype.
Okay.
A digital twin is basically a virtual copy of something real,
Okay.
like a piece of equipment, a process, or even a whole system.
So instead of making big changes to something real,
Yeah,
you can test them out virtually first.
exactly. You can see what works, what doesn't, without the risk of breaking anything.
It's like having a time machine for your business.
It's like a crystal ball.
Yeah.
It lets you look into the future.
That's incredible.
It's powerful stuff.
So you're telling me it's no surprise that 70% of top tech executives are investing in this.
Yeah, according to McKinsey. That's right.
Wow.
But there's something really important to remember here.
Okay.
It's not just about having the technology.
It's about how you use it,
Exactly. You need a plan.
a strategy.
Yes.
Because having the best technology doesn't mean you're going to be successful.
It's like buying a fancy oven when you don't know how to cook.
Right. You need the skills to match.
Yeah. Digital transformation needs a plan.
So you have to know how it fits in with your business goals
Yes.
and your processes.
Exactly. And this is where things get interesting
Okay.
because it's not just about the tech. It's about changing how people think and work together.
It's about changing the company culture.
Yes, exactly.
It's not just about buying new software.
Right. It's like you're rewiring the whole company.
Yeah, that sounds like a huge project.
It can be, but it's also a really exciting time for businesses.
In what way?
Well, it's about moving away from that old way of thinking, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
And instead, always looking for ways to be better.
So always evaluating how you do things.
Yes.
Being open to new ways of doing things.
Exactly. And not being afraid to ask, what if we try this?
And for that, you need people who are on board with this whole digital transformation thing, right?
Absolutely. You need a workforce that can really use these tools.
Because it's not enough to just have the latest and greatest technology.
Nope. You got to know what to do with it.
And speaking of technology, this source keeps coming back to data-driven decision-making.
It's essential.
It seems like data is really the key to all of this.
Data is king these days.
How?
You need to have the right data.
And know how to understand it,
Right, because that data gives you insights into your business.
that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Exactly. You can see where the problems are,
You can use your resources better.
and you can even give your customers a better experience.
And that's where AI and machine learning come in, right?
Exactly.
Because who can even handle the amount of data companies have now?
it's impossible for humans to do it all.
So we need AI and machine learning to make sense of it all.
They can see those patterns that we miss.
Right.
They can help you make your production more efficient.
And even predict when something might break down.
Exactly. It's like having a whole team of analysts working for you 24/7.
That's pretty amazing.
It is powerful.
Right.
But we have to remember AI and machine learning are tools.
Right.
Really, really powerful tools.
But still just tools.
Yes. So we need to use them the right way.
So it's not about replacing humans with machines.
No, no.
It's about finding that balance
Exactly.
where humans and machines work together.
That's the sweet spot.
And this is probably where those digital native companies have a bit of an advantage
They do have a head start.
because they were born into this digital world.
Right. They're used to it.
So how can these bigger companies compete?
It's not impossible.
Because they've got the experience.
Yes.
They've got the customers.
And they usually have more resources, too.
So they just have to find a way to be more agile.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to help with here. Giving you the tools and knowledge to take your company through this digital transformation.
And come out even stronger.
We've covered so much.
Yeah, from core strengths to digital twins.
And data and digital native companies.
It's a lot.
Is there one thing you really want our listener to remember from all of this?
Yeah, it is a lot to think about, but it's exciting stuff.
It really is all about changing how we think about business.
Right. It's not just about making things a little bit better.
It's about doing things completely differently.
And this source gives you some good ideas for where to start.
Like figuring out what's not working.
Right. Getting rid of those old systems.
And making sure everything you do helps you reach your goals.
And we can't forget about the people,
Absolutely.
making sure they have the skills and the knowledge to make all of this happen.
Your team is your most important asset.
For sure. And that reminds me of this quote from the source. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it.
Oh, that's a good one. Peter Drucker knows what he's talking about. So we need to know what we're measuring.
Yeah, set some goals.
Track how you're doing.
And don't be afraid to change course if you need to.
Be agile, right?
Exactly. Always be ready to adapt.
Now, we've talked a lot about using technology to improve what you're already doing.
Right, making your core offerings even better.
But what about using it to create something totally new?
Ah, now you're thinking like a true innovator.
So it's not just about being better,
About being different.
creating something that didn't exist before.
That's how you really disrupt an industry.
That's how you become the leader.
So as you're making these changes to your company,
Don't be afraid to think big.
don't limit yourself,
Explore those crazy ideas.
because you never know what you might come up with.
And on that note of pushing the limits, we're going to wrap up this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
And we hope you found it helpful.
Until next time.
Keep innovating.